Hey you guys, it's Drew here with My Right Brain, and today we are starting a new series. So we are 3D modeling a Brazilian newsstand, and today we are starting with day one, which is the blockout. So I got my setup for you guys so that you can see how I work, and yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're actually going to go ahead and start off with, so you see here I have some AI generations um, that shows what the model is supposed to look like. So this is one of the references that was provided to me by the client, and based off of the GDD, which is the game design document, and all of the information on it, this is what Gemini actually created based off of the descriptions. And then I told it to create a blueprint as well, just to help me and assist me when it comes to at least blocking out the asset. And here you have it. So these two were made through Gemini, and this was an actual photo. So I do want to try something a little different this time. Instead of doing the blockout all by myself, I do want to use AI. But first, let's get some music going so you guys are not listening to me talk the entire time, especially when I go silent. You're not just sitting there. So we got string beats. Turn this down for me. That way I can hear myself think. But yeah, so I'm going to start off with the blockout through Claude. So let's see how that works. Now, I did a little prep beforehand. So if you look at my Obsidian file, this basically has all the details of the asset that's needed. I literally went through Cursor with this. You could do Cursor or Gemini Anti-Gravity, whichever one. And I attached the GDD and the asset that I am going to be working on, which is it's called a trading kiosk, which is Jose's Newsstand. So I got all of this information based off of the GDD. I also let it know that I am going to be using Blender and an AI MTP to start off the blockout process. So it went ahead and did that for me as well. So just some extra props that's added, the build order so it knows what we're doing, assembly checklist. This is when I was running it myself. And then here we have, excuse me, some of the things that are necessary for Blender to read it. A lot of information. Now, you don't need to go through and do this all by yourself. That's what these AI tools are for. These agents, this is what they do. You tell it exactly what you need, you provide the information that you have, and you're good. You're all set. So, let's go to Claude, and I can show you guys what I do. So I basically said, let's do it this way. We are going to be working with Jose's Newsstand. So first off, let's ask it if you're connected to Blender. Are you connected to Blender? Just to make sure off bat we don't have any issues. Perfect. He says yes. So we want it to connect to that file, basically the asset file describing everything, and we also want to let it know that we want it to build a blockout for us. So I'm just gonna simply say that. I'm just gonna add. Oh, it's not working right now. So I can actually go here. Let's see if I can copy the path. Yep, copy path from system root. And we're gonna go back to Claude, and we're gonna attach that. And I'm gonna say basically please use this asset document to create a blockout in Blender for this asset. Very simple. Prompting, it's not that hard, especially when it comes to Claude. You can talk to it like you're having a regular conversation. So with that asset document, we're gonna hit go and see what happens. And now we wait. And I am using Opus 4.7, which it is on the higher end and it uses a lot more credits. I just find that it's easier to run it through the first time using Opus 4.7, and any adjustments after that, we could possibly run it through Sonnet. So, it's looking at the document just to see all the information that it needs. Now I did try this before actually doing this video, and I did get a really good blockout. A really great asset to start with. So I'm hoping that it does the same. We will see. So yeah, depending on what you're asking it to do, it can take some time. But we do want this to be, you know, pretty accurate. It's working very hard in the background because nothing has changed in the viewport yet. But hey, I'd rather sit here patiently and waiting for it to do its thing than actually going in and doing it myself. This can save so much time, even days worth of work. Especially when we get to the texturing process and all that later on down the line. It's gonna be really interesting. Alright, so it looks like now it's gonna go ahead and start doing some work in the viewport. It just mentioned the default cube, so let's see. And now I'm not banking on this to work 100%. Everything is not going to be right. Everything is not going to be in the right place. Some faces are probably going to overlap. There's going to be different things that you need to fix. Okay. Now would you look at that? Alright, so before I do anything else, I'm going to wait for it to be done before I start moving around in the scene. So it did a pretty decent job. Again, I'm not going to touch it until it's completely done because it's probably doing some more things for visualization purposes and different angles. But as an overall base, this is a great starting point. Almost amazing. And then also too, you know that it's to scale based off of what is done in the asset document. So if you need to alter anything, you know that that's the size that it roughly needs to be. So here's just telling us everything that we've done, or not that we've done, but everything that the AI did. So as we look here, we can see that the props are out of place. The doors seems to be off the hinges. There's some other weird stuff here. So before I do anything, well, let's also look at the side here. So we see that it made all these different folders. There's nothing here in the reference folder, which I'm not sure why that's there, but it is. Then we have the shell, which is the outside part, which that looks basically correct. If you take everything off, the shell is what looks almost right. We just need to tweak a few things here and there, but like I said, it looks pretty good. The doors, those need to be fixed. Props are not in the right place, but honestly, I'm not too worried about the props. I can make my own, so you can eventually delete that. And then the markers, that is there just for, I guess, origin purposes. Alright, so let's go ahead and start making some tweaks. So first off, I'm gonna let him know that he did a great job. Claude did a great job starting off, but it does look like some of the objects are not where they're supposed to be. So again, we are just having a regular conversation, so I'm strictly just going to say that. This is a great starting point. There are a few objects that are out of place, especially the doors, so please take a look at all the objects that you placed in the scene. The shell, however, is perfectly placed. That's it. I mean, you can go back and tweak it if you need to, but that's great. So let's send it. See, is recalibrating the door hinge positions and all those different things. So let's see what happens. And while it's doing that, let's go back and look at PureRef again. So if we look at this and look at that, again, it's a pretty decent. It's pretty decent. Like it's really good when you think about it. So. Oh, actually, let me stop moving around. Claude is still working, so let's let Claude do his thing. Sorry about that, guys. Not sure what's going on. Give me 1 second. Let me just check to see everything is working properly. we are back in action. Sorry about that, and it looks like Claude is still working. So let's give it a moment. It's probably because of my internet. Wish I could do a drop down. There we go. It's just moving a little slow, but it's doing this thing. Again, this is way better than having to do it all by yourself. Alright, so it's looking at all of the props and it noticed where things are wrong. So let it do its thing. And we just wait. We just sit here and wait and wait and wait. And wait. So it put the doors on the outside of the walls, however it's still not in the wrong place. Oh wow, and it also fixed the props. I was not expecting that. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay. Let's see. It's getting a screenshot, so it's probably going to notice that things are not in the right area. But the props, I'm pretty shocked, because when I ran it the first time by myself, it did not fix the props. It only fixed the doors. So I'm pretty excited about that. Alright, so it fixed something, but we still have an issue. Alright, so I'll do this. Please double check the asset from the orthographic front view, top view, and right view, just to make sure that it does matches up with the asset details and the reference image. Let's see. And I was supposed to be doing updates with Sonnet, but since I'm not hitting my max in my capacity, why not just let it do its thing? hope this does not mess it up, because the blueprint was slightly off, being that it was done with AI. You know, those things are not perfect. Had I created it myself, it would have been exactly the same sizing, but it's okay because everything is roughly estimated anyway. It's starting to do its work. Let's see what happens. If you notice, first it does all of the research, looking up information, finding the details, and then once it gathers all that information, then it starts actually moving things around in the viewport and in the scene. And see, you notice it says the roof is blocking the top view, so they're gonna toggle it off or do an X-ray so that they can see through it. Very smart. That's something that you would do if you were working on it by yourself. Oh, you guys can't see that. 1 second. There we go. See, so it said that the X-ray view wasn't enough for it to notice the different objects. So it's hiding that roof temporarily. Excuse me. Actually take this. Let's do that. We're gonna hide that. We're gonna move this up. So that you guys can see everything that it's saying. There we go. I'll move this over too. Hopefully that's better. Patience, guys. You gotta let it do its thing. It's just like going through the work by yourself. It's not as long, but it does take time. It wants to make sure it's getting everything correct. At least, almost. See, this is the front view now. So it's thinking that everything is correct. So I'm gonna, once it's done checking everything else, I am gonna let it know, hey, let the doors be open at an angle so that it can at least be in the right general area. Because right now it's swung all the way open to the sides, and I don't really like that. Just waiting. Okay, so it's going in detail, like deep in depth as to where everything is. Honestly, I'm just gonna leave it where it is. I just want the doors to Okay, so yeah, I just told it to leave everything else because we're not going to spend too much time trying to get the block out in order. We could just fix that on our own. Just get the doors in the right place. And honestly, same thing, we could have done that by ourselves just by putting the cursor literally on the corner here. Oh, let me stop moving things around. But yeah, we could have just put the cursor at the corner and swung it based off of changing the origin point. So, but hey, why not use the AI since that's what this video is about? At least the first part. We're just getting it, just a general, like I said, blockout, so that we can go in and tailor it to what we need. So now I know when we do videos, I mean, of course I would have paused to say this out for you guys, but you're seeing real time how long it takes to do certain things like this. And when you think about it, this is a lot of pieces going together to build out this asset. It's not just one model itself, or one, what would you call it? One primitive shape. It's multiple shapes put together to make this one asset. So it's taking time. And then do you see how detailed it is? Like, at the end, this is what we want it to look like. This is what we need at the end when we do the high poly, start doing actual pieces. So in the back here, we need lockers. Oh, look at that. You got the doors in the right place now. I just sold it for you. Even though the doors don't even make any sense, to be honest with you. Because it should close entirely. So that's something that I'll have to fix as well. Like closing up shop, the gate should close all the way. Okay, so it has it there, the gate at the top. Okay, so yeah, again, we have some fixing up to do. Why is it not? I'm gonna be crunching on your ear though. Pretty boring, guys. So we'll drop down so that we can see something happening. It's probably trying to change the origin, I'm not sure. But, because it got it all already where it needs to be. This is great. Blockout, dude. Patiently waiting for it to finish so I can start doing my part. Well, while it's doing that, I'm going to take a bathroom break, so I will be back, you guys. I'm sweating out here. Great. Alright, we are back, and it looks like we have them here, but the origin was not fixed, huh? That's fine. Okay, so we can get out of Claude because honestly it did majority everything that we needed it to do. So that's done. Now we are going to focus on the generate the photo because we want it to somewhat match this aesthetic. Now, from the looks of it, this is a little bit wider than this. I don't necessarily see that as an issue. However, it just depends on, you know, where it's going to be placed. Alright, so let's do this. Let's remove the props. Don't need that right now. Don't need the markers. Don't need the doors. And in the shell, I could take the alright, so I can take these out. Let's move them to their own collection first. I'm gonna call those cabinets. And then I need the walls. Ground and ceiling. I can honestly put that on walls. Let's do it. Sign. That's almost like a prop. So that could be its own thing. The desk. And it's supposed to be another table. These don't look right, so I can honestly delete them. Yeah. Alright, so let's do this. Top view, and we are gonna hide the roof. Front view and side view. I'm trying to decide if I wanted that thing, you guys. I'm not sure. I kind of do, but I kind of don't. And this is just the ground plane. Okay. Watch this. I'm eyeballing it right now. So this I can do. That seems about right. I like that. And the desk. Do I want behind the locker? I was like, the show is gonna sit on top of the desk. Okay, let's try that. thing right now is, I'm sorry, but this is kind of in the way. So we're gonna move that out the way. Cool. To be honest, I kind of want everything to show wireframe. That is something I can do in Claude. Please make all the objects in the scene show wireframe. Because this is going to help me when it comes to putting it in order. Not in order, but where they need to be. I just wanted to should still be textured. Yeah, so I did the wrong thing. It basically turned everything into display as wireframe, and that's not what I wanted to do. I could have just hit Shift Z and use wireframe view instead. But I want to act, there we go. That's what I want. To be honest, I could really just do this tab, A, selection, Shift S, cursor to selected, and then I'm going to do tab, object, set origin to 3D cursor. I didn't need to do that, because if I do this for face, I don't want face nearest. And if I turn that on, GX, yeah, see, that's the issue. It's doing it to the origin. Okay, so honest, I could delete that, and I just want to look at those two right now. So we're gonna go out of that. And I don't know why the viewport is like that, I'm sorry. So both of these, tab, and we want faces. Extrude in the Y direction, and I still have that turned on perfect. And I want to do this. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to combine them. Tab, I'm going to delete these two faces, and I'm going to select the edge loop, and I want to bridge them. Can I bridge? Okay, so we're going to do this here, here, we're going to fill. Alright, so now that we we got that. Let's get out of there. This and look at this solo. Okay, so this. Yeah, I don't know how to. Where is grid fill? Alright, I don't remember, so we're just gonna do this. And to be honest, we could do this. The least amount of geometry, the better. We're at those. Let's see. Excuse me, I'm sorry guys. Alright, so that's what we have so far. And now we need the shelves. Let's see, shelves. Oh, yep, there's shelves in there. So here. I shouldn't have combined them. Yeah, so let's do that first. Or, my bad, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I know there's an easy way to do this, y'all. I don't remember right now. Keep hitting the wrong button. Okay. And now we can honestly delete that. And with this, Tab, Shift Z, I want all of those at the bottom. Shift Z again. I'm gonna match it with that. So what that's telling me is it does need to be a little wider, because the desk is not coming out far enough, especially with the shelves being like that. So I can do, it still doesn't look like enough. Yeah, it still doesn't look enough desk. So I was right to make it wider, huh? Alright, what is the best way to scale this? It will honestly be, take this, okay. Take these two faces and really scale it out. I think that's enough desk space. Which means tab this and this. So do I want to make this come out to the edge, or do I want to put stands back there? All right, let's bring it out to the edge. Okay, so that is pretty much done, except for this. that's gonna be, honestly. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shift D. And this is just going to be alright, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just do this. And what I'm gonna do is long one, size Y0. There we go. And then we're gonna move them to like right here. I apologize, man. Haven't been seeing anything I've been clicking on. Just ask me questions. I got you. And so we're gonna take these. And we're gonna delete them. And then we're gonna take this. So you gotta do it like that, and then so now put it all the way across. just doing the long way. It's okay. Alright, let's move those with the same. We're getting somewhere. Now let's do the legs. Alright, I'm a little confused. Sorry I'm mute. I'm in the zone right now, if you couldn't tell. this is what we got so far, folks. It's a pretty good block out. Now I just need to do the shelving, which this might be a little difficult. Now that I think about it, because these corners here, it needs to come straight. Okay. So I probably should have never. I did it wrong, y'all. Fuck me. I could leave it there. No, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I could leave it there. Alright. So shelves. And then you have like bins under here, so let's add the bins. How is it? Yo, I completely forgot how to do that. Alright, let me figure that out real quick. There we go. I have not saved it yet. That is awful. This is gonna be instead of draft, let's name it Blockout. Looks like the table needs to come out some more. think we have a good enough blockout. What you guys think? Oh, we have no doors. Let's bring the doors back. So they're technically not doors, they're just gonna be gates. Sure my normals are where they need to be. Perfect. So now we can go back, turn that off. Alright, I think we are good enough. Let's change the color of these doors. Hold on. Alright, you guys, I think I am going to call it. It's been about, what, 2 hours or so? Something a little around there. And this is what we have so far for the Blockout. Let's take the top off. I think this is a really good start before I start making assets to just throw inside on the shelves. I think this is pretty good. Now, of course, if I put on the subdivision, it's not going to be great because it needs some bells, but for the most part, this is some really good stuff. So I'm pretty proud of it. And then again, this is probably going to be more like these gates here. I'm just going to do that in texture. Alright, so come back for day 2 where I add more details and props to the models. I think this is good for now. This is Drew with My Right Brain signing out. Thank you guys.